Chancellor Fitzpatrick, President and Vice Chancellor Dickinson, members of the Board of Governors, members of Senate, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, graduands, alumni, families, and friends. Today is a day of victory, triumph, satisfaction, and the culmination of years of hope. You can feel it in the air, in fact. The atmosphere in this auditorium is buzzing with the energy of semesters spent working, sweating, fidgeting, shifting, concentrating, cheering. Maybe part of that buzz is the ghost of all the exams written in this place, but I think most of it is the electric charge of promise. A promise we have fulfilled to ourselves, and a promise we will make today as we move forward. Graduation is not just a simple celebration. This is a ritual. It represents a deeper truth, like all ceremonies. It is the marker of a staggering, joyful, painful, exhilarating journey. And in order to fully appreciate what graduation means, we have to remember where we came from and what got us here. So, let's talk about what makes today so incredible. Like many of you, I did not walk a smooth path to university. In fact, it was all I could do to graduate high school. I spent most of my youth fighting through an educational system that I felt wasn't meant for me. A place like MSVU, a place where I could be myself, seemed a distant and hazy dream in those days. I can't count the amount of times I was told to just hold out until university when things would get better for me. Such platitudes were cold comfort when I was fighting tooth and nail to make it through even just one day of public school. I remember the gripping anxiety of an uncertain future being my status quo. Where would I be in a month? A year? I agonized about whether I would ever find my place in the world, a world which felt, all too often, terribly unkind. At least some aspects of my story probably sound familiar to you. In my 6 years at the Mount, I've had the privilege of meeting some of you and listening to your stories. I have met those of you who returned to university as mature students, who felt out of place and unpracticed, and have seen you persevere through feelings of alienation and doubt. I have talked to those of you who are parents as well as students, balancing childcare and studies with a patience and grace I will always admire. I've gotten to learn from you international students who tackled language barriers, culture shock, and an unfamiliar academic landscape with courage and poise. I have connected with disabled students working every day to make the Mount a more accessible place, advocating tirelessly for yourselves and others while you tackle your degrees. And I have met many students like me, those of you who valiantly stare mental illness in the face every day and don't stop fighting, those of you who struggle to learn and pace with your peers and yet somehow have expertly found your niche and your community. All of us have found here at the Mount facilitation and support to strive for what we want our lives to be. At the Mount, we have made an often unkind world more kind by being there for one another, by challenging stigma, by creating unique solutions to a diverse set of struggles. Every single one of us stepped up when the pandemic hit, when things felt hopeless and out of control. I met some of my dearest friends at the Mount through the interface of my computer, including the formidable Michael Gillis, whose May valedictory address inspired me as I was writing this speech. Even though during those long pandemic hours, I felt like going into academic limbo and woke up every morning on autopilot, the students and professors of the Mount restored and supercharged my motivation. As I huddled in the isolation of my bedroom day after day, it was all of you who pulled me through. I don't think we will ever be able to address enough the collective trauma we have all lived through since early 2020 and that we continue to process. Never, ever forget what you proved to yourself and to the world when things were at their worst. Through every quarantine, through every Microsoft Teams glitch, through every holiday spent spreading your warmth and kindness through a screen. You are all remarkable. We are remarkable. Now, I don't want this speech to bring down the mood, but I feel very strongly that graduation is both celebratory and cathartic. That this happy day would not mean nearly as much if we had not fought as hard as we did, suffered as much as we did, and succeeded through it all as we did. I can't stress enough how absolutely, unequivocally, stupendously proud I am to be one of you. And if I could say something to my younger self to help her get through her hardest times, I would tell her about all of you. You have no idea, I would say, about the incredible human beings you will meet at the Mount. They will restore your hope when all seems lost. They will show you kindness and understanding when they themselves are worked to the bone. Just wait. Be patient. You will find your place in this world. You will find your people, and you will thrive. I promise. Thank you.